to all of you. My name is Hetal Prajapati, Head of Diploma Electrical Engineering, Parul Institute of Engineering Technology Diploma Studies, Parul University. Today is our webinar on climate change and electrical energy consumptions. Let me introduce Sital Singhede Madam, today's our expert. She is a lecturer, Department of Electrical Engineering, Polytechnic, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Vadodara. She is Assistant Director, Electronics and Communications, Higher Payment Program, Polytechnic, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Vadodara. She is also DY Director Officer of Career Advancement for Students, the MSU Vadodara. She is also the coordinator of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan for the MSU. She is also the core committee member of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, the MSU Vadodara. She is a mentor of Change Atal Tinkering Lab nominated by Niti Aayog, Government of India. She is Joint Secretary of Bharatiya Shikshan Mandal Vadodara. Madam is pursuing PhD in electrical engineering from MS University. She has also completed master in the industry electronics from the MSU. Sital Madam have 23 years of teaching experience. She has published 16 international publications and 10 national publications. She worked on research projects funded by Research and Consultancy Cell, the MSU Baroda. Madam have also the memberships like life member of Society of Power Engineers. She is life member of IST, associate member of IET. She is member of various committees formed by the Honorable Vice Chancellor of MSc Baroda. She worked on some project like first coordinator of competitions Now Bharat Nirman at India International Science Festival organized by Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India in the year 2017 and 18. She started a course on sanitary product manufacturing entrepreneurship development at the MSU Baroda. She designed the lift cutlery machine to support the ban of single-use plastic. She also socially active and helped widow women who fall in BPL category to get benefit of Vidwa Sahay Yojana scheme under the Government of Gujarat and Government of India. She set up a Atal Tinkering Lab at New Era Senior Secondary School, which was awarded as Atal School of the Month December 2019. She also delivered lectures on STEM education at school to promote science and technology among school students. She major thrust area is rural electrification and live life. So for next 1 hour, we have the madam with us. So my request to all our viewers, please be with us. And if any questions and query, you can WhatsApp me on my number 966-205-3087. Thank you. Madam, please begin your presentation and lecture.
Thank you, Hetal Madam. Thank you for the introduction. All the members, all the teachers who have joined, students who have joined through Facebook Live. Thank you very much, and I request you for the patient listening. Let me share my screen. I think my screen is visible to all. Sir, screen is visible?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So let us begin. The topic of discussion is climate change and electrical energy consumption. First of all, we understand the difference between climate and weather. See, weather is that this is a term used for a particular period, okay, and climate is for a day, okay. Now, India is both a major greenhouse gas emitter and one of the most vulnerable countries in the world to projected climate change. The country is already experiencing changes in the climate and the impacts of climate change, including water stress, heat waves, droughts, severe storms, and flooding, and associated negative consequences on health and livelihood. Most of our population's livelihood is agriculture. So India probably will be severely impacted by continuing this climate change. Global climate projections given inherent uncertainties. It indicates several changes in India's future climate. Warming of zero point 0.5 degree is likely over all India by the year 2030, study says, and a warming of 2 to 4 degree by the end of this century, with the maximum increase over northern India. Now, India's electricity demand will be affected by changes in its climate and very important factor, that is per capita income. Temperature electricity demand depends on increase in per capita income and climate. If climate in India warms by 1 degree, then the demand for electricity is likely to increase by 119% with 4% per income growth, per annum income growth. And it will be 252% with 6% per annum income growth by 2030. Now, what are the factors that uh, affects because of the climate change? So, impacts of climate change on human system. So, first of all, if we see agriculture, high input and high output agriculture will be negatively affected even as demand for food and other agricultural products rise because of an increasing population and expectations for an improved standard of living. Millions of lives and smallholder farmers will experience hardship and hunger through being less able to predict climate conditions. Another factor, that is water. Now, glacier melt may yield more runoff in short runs, but less in medium and long terms. Now, more several storms, especially cyclones, जो अभी हम देख रहे हैं, will cause more damage to infrastructure, livelihoods, exacerbate small water intrusion in storm surges. Changes in timing and amount of monsoon rain will make the production of food and other agricultural products more uncertain, so that even in good weather years, farmers will be more likely to make decisions leading to lower productivity. Another factor, that is exacerbation of inequality. The welfare of those who are affected by climate change and who have limited means to adopt may act as a force that can change governments, strain public budget, and foster unrest. About one third of Indians are extremely poor and 60% dependent on agriculture for their livelihoods. Another factor, that is migration. India receives immigrants from number of countries. Under climate change condition, it may be flooded with many more. And such migrations may exacerbate tensions between the different countries. This is a very sensitive topic to discuss. So next, very important, that is what our topic of concern is, energy. As India searches for additional sources of energy to meet the rising demand, climate change mitigation efforts may constrain its use of indigenous and imported coal, oil, gas, while development of nuclear energy may be slow at its best and likely to encounter opposition. If we talk about energy system, then Indian demand is growing at fast pace, 3.2% per year. That is what study says. Residential energy consumption has increased 50 times since 1971 and now continues to increase. It is going to increase due to rapid electrification, increasing household income, and technology development. So, if we understand REC pattern, residential energy consumption pattern, and the factors affecting it, it will be helpful for designing effective and credible energy efficiency programs, optimize planning of capacity additions, and better adoption of the rapidly changing business model and technologies in power sector. Now, household income are increasing, which combined with the combined reliable electricity supply. Fortunately, we have quite reliable electricity supply. So this will uh, increase the ownership of the appliances. People will buy more and more electrical appliances like refrigerators, and nowadays um, very common is मोबाइल लैपटॉप आवर लाइफ इज लाइक हम तो इससे अभी इसके अलावा अधूरे हो गए हैं. Finally, technology is rapidly developing. New technology can be energy efficient, but also it needs energy. Even though it is energy efficient, but it needs energy. So, rapid electrification, increasing income, and technology development will result in people buying more appliances in future and thus more electricity to run them. Right. Various studies says that uh, consumption will increase 5 to 6 times in India in the sector of domestic or residential energy consumption. So even International Energy Agency projects India's primary energy demand to more than double by 2030 and projected annual growth rate for GDP of 6.3%. So various studies have different projections, but yes, ultimately the trend is growing trend. If we look at this graph, this is percentage of electricity consumption of various sectors. If we see from the year 1968 to 2013, industrial energy consumption is decreasing. This may be due to application of energy efficient devices, various energy efficiency policies adopted by the industries. But if we see, because our main concern is domestic energy consumption, electrical energy consumption at say domestic level, at residential level. If we see that, you can see the rise in, there is a rise in the level of rise in the consumption of domestic rise in domestic level. Also, there is a rise in the electrical consumption at agricultural level also because of new technological development, automation. There is rise in electrical consumption at agriculture level also. And if we talk about the generation at Gujarat level, this is the installed capacity from 1718, 1819 and 1920. Every year, the consumption is increasing. This is government sector, state government sector. Private electricity generation, it is decreasing maybe because of addition of this renewable energy generation. But if you study this cumulative effect is cascading effect is there is rise in generation every year. If we talk about energy consumption of Gujarat state, this is from 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19 and 19, 20. Again, say for the month of April, if we see, there is rise in energy consumption. Monthly energy consumption, if you study, in the month of May also, it is rising. And comparatively, if you see, 1920, consumption is very large. Okay. This is month-wise energy consumption. And if you see maximum demand, again, maximum demand month-wise from April to May, year-wise it is increasing. Every year in 2016, if the maximum demand is say 320 in the month of April, but year say 2019-20, it is 393 mega units. Means every year, if you take particular month, every year it is increasing. So maximum energy month-wise, it is increasing every year. Maximum energy consumption is increasing. Also, month-wise energy consumption is increasing. Generation is increasing. But yes, we are introducing more and more renewable sources. Okay. Now, if we talk about the energy consumption at home, at house level, then the major contributors are heating and cooling appliances. These are the common appliances that I have considered, but the major contributors are heating and cooling devices. मतलब AC है, कूलर है, okay, heaters है, geysers है. ये these are the major contributors of फॉर एनर्जी कंजम्पशन. और अभी एक नया ऐड हुआ है डिश वॉशर. लास्ट ईयर का सर्वे ये कहता है कि देयर इज ट्रिमेंडस राइज इन द सेलिंग ऑफ डिश वॉशर. ये जो पेंडेमिक हुआ जहां पे काफी जगह पे इफ वी टेक मेट्रो सिटीज, एग्जांपल ऑफ मेट्रो सिटीज, वहां पे हाउस मेड्स वगैरह अवेलेबल नहीं थे, वर्क फ्रॉम होम था, पीपल आर वेरी बिजी इन वर्क फ्रॉम होम स्ट्रक्चर. तो डिश वॉशर कंसेप्ट ये भी बहुत ज्यादा इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है. सो दीज आर द मेन कंट्रीब्यूटर्स ऑफ एनर्जी absorption, energy consumption. Okay. And another thing, as I said, that since household incomes are increasing and there is a reliability of the electrical supply, so ownership of the appliances increases. लोग ज्यादा electrical appliances purchase कर रहे हैं for to satisfy their comfort level. अगर हम income level में उसको distribute करें, suppose low income group, medium income group, higher income group, and if we observe this graph, it says that see, major contributors are air conditioner. Higher income group has 70%. 70% of the higher income group has this air conditioner. ceiling fan, no doubt वो तो हो गया ही. Even if you see ceiling fan, low income group has also 98% lower income group has ceiling fan. Okay, even refrigerators. These are the common appliances. CFI, fridge, TV, ceiling fan. These are the common appliances. Also, if you see, 16% lower income group has air conditioner. Okay, so because of the household rise in household income, the ownership of the appliances increases, and yes, contributing in the consumption pattern. If we study the load curve of Gujarat in summer and winter, in summer, if you see higher income group, KW or consumption per house in case of higher income group is more in summer as well as in winter. Load curve means it is for 24 hours and it shows KW consumption in 24 hours duration. Okay. Now, the conclusion here is heating, ventilation and air conditioning appliances that used to control the ambient temperature represent a great portion of the energy consumed. Energy consumption is contributing significantly to climate change, and India's struggle between energy demand and supply will be greatly affected by the impacts of climate change. Another parameter. Now, first of all, to understand this, we need to know climate conditions. First of all, to understand the energy consumption pattern, because see, energy consumption and climate, these are quite interrelated. जब गर्मी बढ़ती है हम कूलिंग डिवाइसेस ज्यादा यूज करते हैं, इट डेसिपेट्स हीट, अगेन टेम्परेचर इंक्रीजेस, अगेन वी आर टेंड टू इंक्रीज मोर एंड मोर कूलिंग डिवाइसेस. तो ये क्यूमुलेटिव इफेक्ट है. Okay, so climatic condition. What is climate condition? Is see today's scenario or recent scenario is not today's. We can say recent scenario is maximum rainfall occurring at a time has changed drastically, and sometimes what happens, a large amount of or huge amount of rainfall occurs in a short span or short duration. Okay. Most of the areas have experienced steady rise in maximum temperature in summer as well as in winter. Or we can say that maximum daily temperature and minimum daily temperature both are rising. Okay, and since minimum daily temperature is also rising, this contributes energy consumption pattern, and this causes the consumption of electricity, more consumption of electricity. And such extreme temperature results in stress on the power system. If we see about, if we look at this Vadodara temperature, then January, highest temperature around 29.5, lowest 12.5. If we talk about May, then this is of 2019, May 14.1, 26.1. See, our comfort level is 24, 25 degree, but this minimum. Okay, but here if you see, in the month of May, June, from April, May, June, July, August, this temperature is around 27. So this leads or this tempts us to use more and more cooling devices. To understand better about the climate or the terms climate, we need to understand some important terms that are, say, heating degree days and cooling degree days. Now, what is what do you mean by heating degree days? These are measure of how cold temperature was in a given day during a period of complete 24 hours of a day. And cooling degree days means measure of how hot temperature was on a given day or during a period of day. अब ये मुझे क्यों चाहिए? Why I need to understand these degree days? See, you need these degree days to find out if energy projects actually saves energy or not. Suppose I tell you that my electricity bill for the month of May was only 2400. This statement, it has no meaning because there is no reference. So if I tell that the bill was 3600, no sorry, any say 3640 last May, then you come back and you can tell me that last May was much hotter than this May. So I didn't use much air conditioning or any cooling devices last year. If this year bill is more, if the last year bill is less, so you can compare and it makes a sense that my electricity bill was lower this year. Okay. Now the question is, did my energy saving project really save energy or not? It is clear that we need a way to make fair comparison of energy use this year and last year. And it should be independent of the weather. So for that, what we need is we have to normalize this, and therefore we need to know cooling degree days and heating degree days. If we talk about India or if we talk about say Vadodara, then we are more interested in cooling degree days क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ इतनी ठंडी नहीं है, because we need not to cool the buildings or room. Okay. Now to understand this cooling degree days, what we need is base temperature. Now what is base temperature? Base temperature, sometimes called as balance point. It is simply the outside temperature at which building needs no heating or air conditioning to maintain a constant desired internal temperature. It is the balance point where the desired inside temperature is maintained without air conditioning or heat. Air conditioning would be needed if the weather was a degree warmer, and heater is needed if the it was degree cooler. Now most buildings, for most buildings, the base temperature is taken as say 18 degree, around 18 degree, and obviously the building's structure, that is different, occupancy of the building, it is different. Okay, suppose office building if we talk, then there are lot of hot occupants like copy machines hai, computers hai, in one small room there number of people are more. Okay, so it depends on also the outside weather condition is also one of the parameter. So for most of the buildings, base temperature may be different. Okay, now for the purpose of saving energy, we deal with two type of degree days, as I said, that is heating degree days and cooling degree days. Okay, now when heat is required to keep a building at a constant desired temperature, then it is called as हीटिंग डिग्री डेज, और वी एक्सपीरियंस हीटिंग डिग्री डेज। अगर हमें गर्म करने के लिए हमें कुछ मेजर लेने हैं बिल्डिंग को, तो वी कॉल इट एज हीटिंग डिग्री डेज, और वी आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग हीटिंग डिग्री डेज। व्हेन एयर कंडीशनिंग इज रिक्वायर्ड, वी एक्सपीरियंस cooling degree days. Okay, so degree days are based on 24-hour period, and therefore it is called day. Okay, now one cooling degree day means the average temperature of a day is 1 degree above the base temperature. Okay, now increase in temperature will likely increase our energy demand, as well as change our ability to produce electricity and deliver it reliably. Study says that if the nation's climate warms by 1.8 degree Fahrenheit, the demand for energy used for cooling is expected to increase by 5 to 20%. And also the next expenditure in heating as well as cooling, if we require heating and cooling, would increase by 10%. So changes in energy demand will likely affect greenhouse gas emission, but the net effect depends on which energy sources or alternative sources that we are using, okay, for heating as well as cooling. Now, what are the concerns? Climate change concerns are energy efficiency in all sectors. Energy efficiency means use of less energy uh, in all sectors. Another factor, that is emphasis on mass transport, that will also save fuel, transport fuel. Then active policy on renewable energy, including biofuels and fuel plantation. See, concern and the threat of climate change has been an important issue in formulating energy policy, right? And initiative suggested to reduce the greenhouse gas intensity of the economy to, and it is at as much as to 1. Now, renewable energy has started playing an increasing important role for augmentation of grid power, providing energy access, reducing consumption of fossil fuels, and helping India pursue its low carbon development path. And this approach is going on in 3 phases. The mission's objective is to establish India as a global leader in solar energy by creating the policy condition for solar technology diffusion across the country as quickly as possible. See, this is not one day show. So it will take time. You have to make certain benchmark, and accordingly you have to uh, scale up the models. So various policy measures undertaken included guideline for procurement of solar wind power through tariff-based competitive bidding process, standards for deployment of solar voltaic system and devices, provision of rooftop solar and guideline for development of smart city amendment in buildings, and various infrastructure status are made compatible to deploy these solar projects. Okay. Now, another is accelerated development of nuclear and hydroelectricity, technology mission for clean coal technology, and focus R&D on many climate friendly technology. So these are the climate change concerns. Now, India needs national strategy to firstly adopt to climate change and secondly to improve ecological sustainability while pursuing India's development path. Recognizing the urgency to chart an action plan to address the consequences of climate change, NAPCC, National Action Plan on Climate Change, was released in 2008, and it identifies measures to advance India's development without affecting climate change related adoption and mitigation. Now, principal guidelines for NAPCC are protecting the poor and vulnerable section of the society through sustainable development strategy sensitive to climate change, achieving national growth objectives while enhancing ecological sustainability leading to mitigation of greenhouse gas emissions, devising efficient and cost effective strategies for demand side management, deploying appropriate technologies for both adoption and mitigation of greenhouse gases emissions extensively as well as rapidly, engineering new and innovative form of market regularity and voluntary mechanism to promote sustainable development, affecting effective implementation of programs and projects through local government institutions and public private partnership. Now there are 8 national missions that are National Solar Mission, National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency, National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, National Water Mission, National Mission for Sustaining the Himalayan Ecosystem, National Mission for Green India, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, and National Mission for Strategic Knowledge on Climate Change. Energy Management System for Household. Efficient energy management system for household. See, though the deficiency of power in India is decreasing rapidly, still there are many people, both in rural and urban areas, who have improper and unreliable access to energy. These people are focused on reliable alternatives like diesel generator or other um, sources. These may pose harmful effects on health, and they are volatile in terms of their operating cost. Since solar energy or solar energy serves as an affordable source of electricity, solar rooftop panel harnesses the power of the sun to generate electricity. They are eco-friendly. Further, their cost of operation is also stable. So, solar panel generates energy. It is a good source of energy that combats climate change. One of the biggest advantage of rooftop solar panel is that they can be installed on any rooftop, so people don't need to vacate the land or invest in buying additional land on setup of rooftop solar panel. And yes, this will contribute in the climate change policies. So, save energy for better environment. The less we do to address climate change now, the more regulation we will have in the future. Let us see one video.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software.
The Earth is a pretty amazing
Is the screen visible? Video?
Yes, madam.
place. It's a random planet in a random solar system, in a random part of a random galaxy. And somehow it wound up having the perfect conditions to support life. Water, a breathable atmosphere, and a climate that is not too hot, not too cold, but just right.
In the interstellar climate lottery, it seems that we hit the Goldilocks jackpot. But that isn't to say our climate has been this way forever, or will continue to stay this way.
The Earth has undergone many changes to its climate in its 4.5 billion year existence. Scientists estimate that it has undergone no fewer than 5 distinct ice ages during that time, and we're officially in one now that started 2.6 million years ago, alternating between glaciers very slowly advancing over 100,000-year glacial periods and very slowly retreating over 10 to 15,000-year interglacial periods.
In the past 250 years, we've seen increasing changes to our climate, due in part to global greenhouse gas emissions, specifically CO2 and methane, that trap the sun's heat in our atmosphere like the glass in a greenhouse does.
What changed? Well, to name a few things we now probably couldn't do without: the Industrial Revolution,
Invention of the automobile,
widespread agriculture,
turning kerosene into jet fuel,
and developing methods to generate electricity from fossil fuels and hydroelectric dams.
In fact, in the last 100 years alone, the globe's average surface temperature has risen about 1 degree Celsius, with the rate of that change nearly doubling in the last 50 years.
And while this warming of our planet may not sound like a bad thing when we're out shoveling snow in minus 30, the reality is that when it happens too fast, it's a big problem.
And while we are making great strides in becoming more efficient and finding ways to achieve everything we need to with fewer emissions, the challenge is that our world's demand for everything that requires energy is growing at a pace that's currently faster than our ability to produce it with sources that have lower or no greenhouse gas emissions.
For the time being, we will still need to use all forms of energy to meet the world's demands, while also making the changes necessary to get our emissions in check.
In Canada, we're doing a lot to ensure that we produce our energy as efficiently and responsibly as possible, while also investing heavily in technological innovation, renewables, and ways to help other countries make positive changes themselves.
Because it's not like we all live in separate little bubble worlds where what other bubble people do or don't do doesn't matter. We share the same atmosphere, so what happens on one side of the world affects the other side.
For example, in China, coal is still the predominant source of energy to produce electricity. And while they have recently built some of the largest solar farms in the world, that alone simply can't keep up with their existing demands, never mind the expected increase.
And because of coal's low cost and ample availability, it unfortunately creates a bit of a dependency on it until they can get other energy sources in place and at the scale required.
That said, China is replacing some of their planned coal power plants with natural gas, which emits roughly half the emissions of coal. And we're doing that back here at home too. In 2016, Canada committed to phase out traditional coal-fired electricity completely by 2030.
Replacing a higher carbon energy source like coal with a lower carbon source like natural gas is sometimes referred to as stepping down the carbon ladder.
Why is that?
Because we choose to use an energy source on a lower rung of carbon emissions, meaning its production and consumption releases fewer of the carbon-based emissions that have a negative impact on climate change.
Beyond the implementation of more renewable energy sources like solar and wind, new innovations are helping us to move all sources lower down the ladder. Innovations like improving the efficiency of fossil fuel production and refinement,
Carbon capture and storage.
and using industrial CO2 emissions to grow algae for nutritional supplements.
Yum.
In my tum.
These all play a part in reducing our country's own greenhouse gas emissions. But it can't just be one country alone, since remember, we all live within the same bubble.
An ongoing global effort will be critical as the world's population and energy demands continue to increase over the coming decades.
Nations can lead and commit to larger initiatives, but individually, we can all help make a difference by being more efficient with our own energy use and reduce our consumption of stuff.
Human activity contributes to current climate issues.
But human action can be the solution.
Yes, human action contributes to the climate change, but human action. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Yes. Human habits are the major contributors of climate change. Yes, but human action can can control the climate change. So let us have a joint hand. Being an engineer, let us have a joint hand and save our Mother Earth. So this is all from my side. Any questions, please?
Okay, so thank you, madam, for delivering such a very good session. One question from the student side is that
Yes.
recently we have noticed that so many solar rooftop project and so many solar installation will be there. So, in previous 2 days, we have just observed that the intensity of the solar light is very low. So,
Yes.
how we can manage this power demand when we're replacing our conventional energy sources with the solar sources? So,
Yes.
because it is a very big issue to
Yes.
overcome the power demand of the consumer.
Right. Yes. This is really a big concern. But as I said, renewable energy, it is completely weather dependent. It's an intermittent source of energy, right? We cannot completely change this thermal system, or we cannot completely rely on this renewable energy. This is the additional source. That is what I said. Solar energy or renewable energy is an additional source of the existing system. Okay, whenever such climatic conditions are there, definitely we are not able to use solar energy. So that time we are only dependent on fossil fuel. Yes, but when other than this period, there is ample of energy available, so we can save this fossil fuel when for this such disastrous conditions. And solar energy, whenever it is available, we have to use that energy. But now the system is like we cannot use it directly, right? What we are doing is we are giving डिस्कॉम्स कंपनीज जो भी अवेलेबल है उनको हम देते हैं, एंड वी गेट थ्रू नेट मीटरिंग प्रैक्टिस वी गेट डिस्काउंट इन अवर जो भी हमारा टैरिफ है उसमें हमें डिस्काउंट मिलता है. अभी सिस्टम ये चल रहा है. यस, लेकिन जब हमें आइलैंडिंग करना है, मींस ओनली वी हैव टू रिलाई ऑन से सोलर एनर्जीज, सोलर और विंड और मतलब जो भी रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी है, इस पे ही अगर हमें रिलाई करना है, आइलैंडिंग प्रोसेस पे ही अगर हमें जाना है, देन वी हैव टू थिंक ऑफ स्टोरेज ऑफ एनर्जी. So that is the solution.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any alternative solution are available so that our student can perform the project and solve this issue?
Solution of
जैसे कि अभी सोलर पावर अभी काफी कम है, तो दूसरे कोई ऐसे अल्टरनेट सोर्सेज हम ले सकते हैं कि जिससे जो भी हमारी जो डिमांड है उसको हम फुलफिल कर सकें.
हाँ, जैसे
गैसेस
जैसे
या
अभी
कोल बेस के अलावा?
यस, जैसे अभी एक हम काम ऐसा कर सकते हैं, दो स्टूडेंट्स अगर इंटरेस्टेड है तो हम एक सोसाइटी लेते हैं जहां पे हम एक नैनो ग्रिड फॉर्म करते हैं, राइट, वेयर व्हाट विल बी द सोर्सेस इन दैट, सोलर, स्मॉल हाइड्रो पावर, हाइड्रो, जो अभी माइक्रो हाइड्रो कंसेप्ट चल रहा है वो, ओके। सो माइक्रो हाइड्रो विल एक्ट एज अ बैटरी सोर्स, मतलब इंस्टेड ऑफ हैविंग high power battery source, we can have micro hydro, solar and lithium battery या बैटरी सोर्स, ठीक है। तो ये तीन मिलके हम एक नैनो ग्रिड फॉर्म कर सकते हैं, एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस नैनो ग्रिड वी कैन सॉल्व द इश्यूज लाइक जो हमारे एसेंशियल डिवाइसेस है उसको हम रन कर सकते हैं। तो अगर सही में किसी को इंटरेस्ट है तो दैट वी कैन गो फॉर दिस माइक्रो हाइड्रो, सोलर एंड बैटरी। बट हियर मेजर एनर्जी स्टोरेज विल बी माइक्रो हाइड्रो इंस्टेड ऑफ बैटरी। बैटरी तो रहेगा ही, मतलब सोलर की जो एनर्जी है वो हम बैटरी में स्टोर करेंगे, लेकिन हम जनरली क्या होता है कि जनरेशन से पीजी इक्वल टू और ग्रेटर देन पीडब्ल्यू डिमांड ऐसा होना चाहिए, मतलब जनरेशन एंड डिमांड दे शुड मैच, ठीक है। और यू कैन से जनरेशन शुड बी मोर देन द डिमांड। तो हमारा जनरेशन क्या क्या रहेगा, तो एक सोलर रहेगा, एक हमारा माइक्रो हाइड्रो रहेगा एंड बैटरी रहेगा, ओके। एंड पीडी जो हमारा डिमांड है वो तो है, लेकिन सोलर जब नहीं है देन हु विल टेक ओवर, दिस माइक्रो हाइड्रो विल टेक ओवर एंड देन द लास्ट ऑप्शन विल बी बैटरी स्टोरेज। So this way we can move ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, madam. Thanks again on behalf of Parul University. So we can complete our session here. So very
Yes.
good knowledge will be provided by you regarding the different generation, different energy conservation, and very much topic will be covered. So thank you very much. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Let me thank Hetal madam. Thank you Vasowala sir, and thank you all the students for patience listening and showing interest in this topic. My urge request to all of you to come forward, have a joint research, joint projects with Parul University and MS University, so that we can do something for our nation as well as for our mother earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
Let us end.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you.